Beautiful day here at Bellowing Acres. We've actually had a very busy day. My throat is feeling it from talking so much today. So, uh, can't really say too much, but I did do a little interview earlier for an article that'll be coming out hopefully in a while. So, lots of talking about alligators and whatnot. But yeah, so for anybody new, who are these guys? So this is Big Mac over here, the bigger one, the male, and so he is. I want to measure him again. He came in at 10'2", and so I wonder if he's closer to 10 and a half, maybe at this point. He's definitely a little bit bigger. And then his girlfriend over here is Bella, so she's right at 8 feet. And so we have him because he was actually hit by a truck. He's named Big Mac, not after a sandwich, but like Mac truck. And so he got hit by a truck. And when he first came in, he had some major disorientation issues. He was actually blind. He had like detached retinas and was like totally blind for the first couple of weeks. And then that healed on its own. And his balance issues have also since healed. But for the first, I guess, year, he was like disoriented, and he would like have some trouble finding his way in here, would even get lost in here sometimes. Right over there. But now he's doing great. And then she was just a regular nuisance alligator in a parking lot, actually. So I do like to really emphasize the idea that a nuisance gator is just one that is a threat to human life or property, which is totally open to interpretation. So it really only takes one person to say, I feel threatened by that alligator because I think it's going to do a triple backflip out of the pond and climb in my two-story window at night and eat me in my sleep. Obviously, that is totally unrealistic fiction, but it does just take one uneducated person to say that animal's a threat. Gator's going to die as a nuisance gator. So we really like to emphasize that because we get calls almost every day. We got one today, we got one yesterday. Oh, there's an alligator. Can you come help it? No, we're not allowed to legally do that. We have our permits to have alligators here, but the only person that can respond to a problem alligator is the trapper. And 99.9999999% of the time, that trapper is going to kill the alligator. So we always like to really emphasize that so people understand you do not get to pick your trapper. You do not get to pick what happens to the alligator. You don't get to choose whether the gator lives or dies. That's all on that trapper, and he's going to kill the alligator almost every single time because that's how they actually make their money. The trapper will kill them, sell them meat in the hide, and then on bigger animals, they sell them to canned hunting farms. So like him, they would just drop him into a retention pond, a man-made lake, fenced in, drop him in there, and have some rich guy fly in to shoot it and say that he hunted an alligator. And that's how it goes. So we really like to just explain that to people so they understand. And we have any
Sound isn't working.
like at all? I mean, I just did all that talking for nothing. Like it's bad or like zero?
We only have 42 people on, and there's audio issues. Everyone's saying there's audio issues.
Hmm. I guess we should have done a sound check before I went into a whole discussion.
Just yours is having issues again. I don't know. I think you're too far for it to connect.
No, because we did this before. You want to switch them?
We did that and it didn't work.
Hmm.
It's choppy, but we can understand.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, guys, comment and let us know. Is it like cutting out, or is it too low and you can't hear,
I
or
think it's probably the connection, like the connection with the mics.
I feel like we're not that much farther. I don't think that's it, but, although I don't know.
You sound robotic, like a bad signal.
Okay, yeah, so that shouldn't have anything to do with distance then.
Makes you have a robot voice.
Do you want to just pull the mic out the bottom?
I mean, what do you do differently when you go live back here alone? Do you have a mic or no?
Like yesterday? No,
I
why?
don't know. Haven't you gone live before?
Yeah, we didn't have any problem.
Did you use a microphone?
Yeah, swimming in the pond.
Hmm. Okay. I guess you're just gonna have to talk loudly.
Yeah, just pull the bottom.
Okay. Oh, on you guys.
Well, You guys let me know if you can hear me now. I'll try to talk a little bit louder, but
I could also move closer. The only thing is I can only get you or the gators. I can't get both unless you want to like try to get behind Big Mac's head and then I can move closer.
well, you can scoot zoom out and make it more.
I'm zoomed out.
You're in 0.5 because you could put it at
This is better, people are saying.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could try that. You want to try that? Can you
Well,
guys hear him from this far away?
yeah, if you guys can hear me, then we're good. It's just
Okay, yeah.
the closer she is, the more likely they are going to be trying to go after you.
Well,
And
I don't care about that. It just makes for a shaky video. Okay, I just missed a super chat. So Donna, thank you so much. Donna sent a $10 super chat.
thank you, Donna.
I feel like we always have technical issues the first like 5 minutes of the live. When you clean out the gator ponds, where do you pump all the water and waste to?
Straight into the ground. Doesn't like when I tell you guys we are upland sand, you can empty that entire pond and the hose is right can be right here. All that water is gone instantaneously. There's not a puddle. It is immediately absorbed into the sand here. It's pretty nuts. So that's why. So on one hand, we're very fortunate it's that way because we have no risk of flooding here, like zero. On the other hand, that means all of our ponds obviously have to be like concreted because we can't make a natural pond. You can't just dig a hole and fill it with water like you can in like most places of Florida.
What is he doing?
Just being pushy. Just saying he wants something. He wants some food. The turkeys are back here. I think they followed us. There's Orion too. They're so goofy. I also like how much they walk around though. They like really explore the property.
I like that they can't fly like into enclosures.
Well, yeah, that too.
They're meat birds, so they
Yeah,
can't fly.
too fat. Well, if everybody heard my whole thing about nuisance gators, hopefully understood all that. Ask away some questions. When we go live like this, we do like to just kind of do a Q and A and whatnot. But while we're waiting for more questions to come in, I can also do a few little updates you guys haven't seen yet on the vlogs. So if you've noticed, I'm trying to do vlogs 3 days a week now instead of every day. We filmed with Coyote Peterson. He was here, and he's got one of the largest animal YouTube channels in the world, like 20 million, 22 million. So I was asking him a lot of questions about YouTube and like how to be more successful at it. And he said that he recommended no more than 3 times a week for posting just because of the way the YouTube algorithm works. So that's what we're going for right now is that 3 times a week, which I know we have a lot of hardcore fans that, obviously really enjoy the daily update vlogs, but daily vlogs are difficult and honestly stressful for me because it's just every single day I'm having to edit. So doing the basically roughly every other day is a lot easier for me. And then also that means I take the more interesting parts of both days and put that together into a singular vlog. And it should help us and make it better for YouTube algorithm. So that's kind of what we're trying to do.
How's the new macaw doing?
Sheldon is doing great. We were actually just hanging out with him before we went live. He's doing really, really good. He's very cute. He likes to dance. He's very sweet. I wish
I would not go as far as saying very sweet.
he's pretty sweet.
I guess for your macaw, they're not really like cuddly birds.
He's pretty nice. Um, Prairie dogs are all together outside. That's exciting. So that won't. So I posted a vlog today. So we put them together today, but that's not obviously today's vlog. So that probably won't be actually posted until day after tomorrow, I think. But yeah, so they're all together and getting along and acclimated so far. So pretty good. Oh, he's moving because he just peed.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I'm serious. Big puddle right there. That's why he moved.
I'm gonna move a little bit too. I'm gonna move closer.
People ask that all the time. They go to the bathroom in the water or on land, and it's where they are at the moment.
kinda like Chris.
Yeah, well, dude, my property, I pee out here all the time. I
I was talking about, like, in your pants,
oh,
like,
oh,
in
yeah.
the car, just, like, down your leg.
Hey, hey, let's not even get into going to the bathroom in the car, all right? Gabby's always peeing in a bottle in the car.
In a bottle? You think I'm that talented?
Or no, what do you do? Yeah, you do. Oh, a cup, not a bottle.
Only when it's an emergency in a Dunkin' Donuts cup.
Yeah,
That's
that's
happened,
like
like,
every
twice.
time we're driving.
You're so dramatic.
That's like all the time.
Can you not?
Anyways,
Can you not?
now I'm looking at the camera, so I have my stick there in case he does move.
Do you wanna go behind them? Is that safer?
Yeah, but I can also just hear them. But also, you tell me if they do anything.
'Kay.
But that's why I got the stick held in this position.
Any updates on opening?
Nope. Yeah, we got stuff to do.
Well, I feel like we're close. I mean, Dr. Kushner's working on the whole veterinary plan, so we need, like, a written out veterinary plan for every single animal. So he's working on that. Then we gotta just fix up the kitchen a little bit, which should take not even a week, and then we can schedule our inspection. I feel like we're close. The year is just flying by. We're already
Yeah.
6 months in.
We thought we'd be doing tours by now.
I thought we would be open by March. So hopefully soon. I know we keep saying that, but, like, hopefully soon.
Like goofy turkey.
Your vet bills must be huge.
Yeah, we just posted one the other day on the Bellowing Acres Facebook. That was how much was that?
2,300?
$2,300. Yeah. So our number one expense for the sanctuary, number one is building enclosures because obviously we're still building and expanding. Number two is vet care. We actually pride ourselves on providing proper veterinary care for our animals. And that is, I say it that way to purposefully throw shade at all the other YouTubers who do not give their animals proper veterinary care. So if you guys follow other animal YouTubers, make sure you can comment and tell them, hey, when's the last time you had a vet check that animal out? These animals do require regular veterinary care and checks. Unfortunately, we see a lot of people that use these animals just for a source of revenue and views and do not put the money back into the care of the animals and giving them proper veterinary care. You agree, Gab?
Mhm. I do. Yeah, and I mean, routine care is important. It's not just when they get sick. Obviously, when they get sick, you it's important. I know some people try to treat it at home. It's really not okay, in my opinion, just like throwing random antibiotics. But even like routine veterinary care is important. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially with birds.
Yeah, birds really need every year an exam and blood work and
Yeah.
just finished watching your new gator arrival. The work you're doing looks amazing. Any update on how she's doing?
Oh, Josephine. Okay. Yeah, I gotta. So, okay, she's doing great. For one, I just checked on her today. Well, obviously I check on her every day. I just checked on her an hour ago, not even. Um, and she's doing great. I did film an update, but we filmed it with the GoPro, and that I haven't taken that footage out yet. So that's why I have not included an update
But
of
the
well,
update's just gonna be a video of her laying there. The update's not anything. Was that a jaw pop? A head slap?
yeah, that was
Dino?
doing a head slap.
Wow.
Pretty cool. But
Dino's feeling himself.
so when you guys watch my videos, a lot of times if it's filmed with the GoPro of the animals, a lot of times it takes me at least a week to actually get the footage off of the GoPro just to find the time to sit down and do it.
Uh,
That's why I'm holding it that way. It is literally exactly why I'm holding the stick that way. It worked as planned. And if you guys saw today's video, you saw this big dude being pretty gnarly in that video. He did a pretty serious lunge. I mean, that was no like Stallone lunge, but for a dude with three working legs, that was a lunge with intent. So I really wanted to post that. I feel like if you don't work with alligators, it's going to be hard for you to understand what you're looking at, you know? So like it's hard for me to convey to people when like they're being nice and they're being chill. Like right now, we're being nice, we're being chill, and then people see him be chill for 5 minutes, and then it's just the total assumption that now he's tame, and he's not at all, you know. And that's why like it's always good to like post that video like I did today of him actually like legitimately trying to grab me. But even so, it's not as intense as what I think people imagine it would be. So it doesn't translate over. Like their interpretation is like, oh, he's playing. No, he's trying to actually end my life. Like that's not an exaggeration. And I feel like I don't know, people like don't really get it, you know?
Have the baby owls moved on?
I guess so. I've not seen or heard them for 2 weeks.
Couple weeks,
Yeah.
maybe longer, 3 weeks. I think
Yeah, I
they're
think they
adults now,
fully moved on.
feeding themselves and yeah.
It'd be cool if they decide to come back and live around here. I don't know what their dispersal range is.
Our vet is very reasonable. He barely even honestly charges. So we pay for obviously like the medicine and the x-ray and all that, but he barely charges us for his time. And $2,300, that's for how many animals?
Oh,
15 animals got
guys, that's too
vaccines.
cheap.
Like
If
that is so cheap.
I feel like if we contacted some of the other vets that we work with, that would have been like 7, 8 grand.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair
And
assumption.
he drives like 4 hours one way.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's 8 hours.
Yeah. Veterinary care is very expensive.
Yeah, no, he's great, and I mean, we have his cell phone number, so Chris and I text him all the time, like, all the time, "Hey, can you look at this photo? Hey, can you look at this? Check out
Yeah.
this animal. What do you think of this?" He is incredible, and I don't know what we would do without him, honestly.
Which is also something that some vets will charge you every point of contact.
Yeah.
So he's super cool, chill. We're very fortunate to have a couple of vets. We got Dr. Kushner, of course, and then Dr. Colbert also is like a friend vet that like we can talk to and bounce ideas off
Who
of.
just texted us this morning, did you read that text? He's at the crocodile
Yeah.
specialist group meeting. You wanna talk to that
Yeah, so
about
Dr. Colbert is at the CSG Crocodile Specialist Group meeting in Morocco right now, and he said he talked to a couple of the vets there, and they all recommend against trying to put Josephine's lower jaw back together. So obviously, we are going to listen to the veterinary experts. Now, I want to say this because, like, the public opinion of uneducated people who don't work with these animals is just you need to fix the jaw. No, you don't. It's an animal in captivity that does not need to have the jaw fused back together, and it can cause all sorts of future issues because it is so prone to breaking because of the amount of force they bite with. So, because it's an animal in captivity that's going to be hand fed by us, there's not like a necessity to put it back. If it was going back in the wild, it would not survive the way it is. But then also, if it went back in the wild, there is nothing you can do that will put the jaw back together permanently that won't re-break when it goes to bite the next turtle or gets in the next fight with an alligator. It will re-break. I've seen this happen 3 times. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the court of public opinion online, of course, people are uncomfortable by the sight of an animal with broken jaws, but it's an alligator. It'll heal. And if it's in captivity being properly cared for, it's not worth the further damage because what happens is you have to put screws through the bone and to reconnect everything and put like a plate or wire, that we were talking about doing wire on that one. That was what somebody did talk about doing. But even
Well,
so, it once they inevitably cause enough strain on there or damage it again, those contact points can further break the jaw bones, causing more injury.
What's the
So,
risk of anesthesia too? It's, people are uncomfortable with Big Mac's busted leg right there, but he was living like that in the wild. he's fine now, unless that starts causing issues, like for some reason it turns necrotic or something like that, we choose not to like surgically intervene. We try to let these animals, for the most part, like heal on their own. And even with Josephine, we gave her 1 or 2 rounds of antibiotics. When we caught her up with the vet, she got a first round of antibiotics. 3 days later, we caught her up, did a second round of antibiotics, and we decided that it wasn't worth the stress. So she only got 2 rounds of antibiotics, and that's it. And did she even need them? Probably not. Now she would have needed them if that tail did end up being a systemic infection, but we did blood work. Believe it or not, it was not an infection. So these animals are incredible. I can't wait, for whatever, 6 months, 7 months when her face is like super healed up and she's coming up for food and you guys can actually like see her up close. She's really cool. She's not that afraid either,
Mhm.
which is amazing.
Yep. I tried feeding her the other day. She still has not eaten yet, but that's normal.
Swinky Dog just sent a $10 chat
Thank you.
and said, ever almost been hurt by a gator?
I laugh because okay, it is risk is relative is the real answer here. Okay, so risk is relative. So on a daily basis, my interactions I have with these animals would be for a normal person the most dangerous moment in your life, like quite literally. He's tried to bite me probably 4 times today. That if I did not move out of the way or if I did not do corrective movements with a stick, he would have bitten me. Uh, and he would have ripped off my hand or my arm and like removed it from my body permanently. So that is a normal part of my life on almost a daily basis is that I will be in a situation that if I do not move fast or move with my stick with experience, I'll have a body part ripped off of me or worse, possibly killed almost every single day something like that happens. So for a normal person, that would have been the most dangerous moment of your entire life. For me, it's a regular part of the day. It doesn't register on what I consider to be almost an accident. Does that make sense?
Victoria sent a $2 super chat.
Thank you.
What is your take on zoos?
Okay, so I don't want to be I don't want to be controversial, but I think it's just like anything else. You can't paint with a broad brush. One of our volunteers here, because everybody's got an opinion on police. Everybody's got an opinion on it. It's super controversial. Somebody breaks in your house, who are you going to call? You're going to call the police, right? The idea there is that not everybody is bad, and that it depends on how you do things. Which I know will get lots of comments because I said something super controversial, and everybody has an opinion on it, right? And so along the same lines, everybody's got an opinion on zoos if you work with animals, and most people think that they are bad because there are a few ones that are really bad, just like there are a few really bad cops that paint the picture broadly, and everybody makes a judgment call on that. My cousin's a police officer, and he's amazing. He's amazing. You cannot tell me, the way people, all cops are evil is same thing. Not all zoos are evil. I've been to some zoos that are absolutely amazing and do amazing conservation work. And in fact, most of them are.
I don't know.
But
I don't know about that. I mean, again,
well,
like
okay, in the US,
I
if
don't
you're
think
AZA, I think most of them are pretty good.
I think it's almost impossible nowadays to do true conservation work. I really do. And that's not just because it's not because people don't want to. I think it's because the countries that a lot of these animals are endangered in and need to be repopulated in, it's just such like a I'm trying not to curse. A blank show, over there, like, it's chaos over there, so I think it's really hard to do, like, true conservation, but honestly, as long as the animal is
Well,
being properly cared for,
insurance colonies, even if they are not allowed to go back to their native range currently, with proper genetic testing,
that's the important thing.
that's the important thing. Proper genetic testing of true assurance colonies of endangered species is conservation, and that is very important. Unfortunately, a lot of people use that as a blanket for breeding animals that have no conservation value, like mixed breeds of lions and tigers and whatnot. And oh, they're bred for conservation. Those animals cannot ever go back in the wild because you have so many different bloodlines put into one mutt. You know, it would mess it up.
Yeah.
That's a whole conversation. But anyways, the root of it is that some really bad places paint a brush to say that all places are bad, and that's just not fair or true. And I think it takes someone with maturity and intelligence to realize that. It's very easy to just hate because some of them are bad, and hating is cool. That's how people are. You know, people love hating on everything, and it makes you sound like you are smarter than everybody else if you're like, well, they actually are all terrible. That's just simply not the case.
Yeah, honestly, as long as the animals have nice enclosures and look like they are um content, like if they're being cared for, that's all I care about. And I don't ever agree with like taking an animal out of the wild to put it on display for education. I understand and maybe in like super rare instances like where you have to do that to breed to help repopulate, but I feel like that's like a 0.00001% chance of like happening. So like most people that take animals out of the wild and they're like, "Oh, well, it's for conservation and like it's
Yeah.
BS, I think.
Well, as Gabby looks for the next comment, I'm going to do our little commercial. And you're making a face. What?
Oh, no.
Okay, you're making a face. Well, I'll do a little commercial as she's looking for like the next questions and whatnot. So, ahem, ahem. I actually kind of need to clear my throat anyways because I've been talking so much today. But either way, a little commercial time, guys. So if you enjoy what we do, you enjoy the sanctuary, and you like learning about these animals, want to help support what we do here, you can consider making a donation through our website, bellowingacres.org. We are a nonprofit animal sanctuary that is home to now almost 300 animals here at the sanctuary. So we really do appreciate any sort of support that we get from our viewers. You can again, you can make a tax deductible donation to our 501c3 nonprofit, bellowingacres.org underneath the donate tab. Or you can also send a super chat right here on YouTube, which is like sending a tip for us because I spent 20 years as a wrestler style making my money with literal blood and sweat, and I dumped my entire life savings into creating this beautiful, amazing sanctuary is now fully supported through social media. So I literally spent my whole life with this as a dream. We have actuated this dream. It is amazing. But now the only money we make is through social media. Now, if you're like, oh, well, what can I do to help? Well, if you don't have money, don't feel bad. You don't have to send us money. And especially if you're in hard times, we do not want to take anything away from you. A free way to help out is hitting like, hitting share, leaving a positive comment. Those are all things that help us out in the algorithm that you can do entirely for free and is very helpful for our social media to make money. Now, if you are so inclined and do have the resources, you can also make a super chat, literally $1. If people send $1, if everybody that became a follower on my channel literally sent $1, we'd be able to knock out projects left and right. Just $1 a person, you know? So, same with the donations too. Donations go 100% to the animals, though, not to us. I do like to make this distinction that our nonprofit, we don't take a paycheck out of the nonprofit. So if you make a donation through the website, 100% goes to the animals, vet care, building enclosures, and feeding them. So all the time that you see me in the vlogs caring for the animals all day, every day, that is volunteering. Now, most nonprofits, you do actually log your hours, and I would pay myself out of the nonprofit if I did what most people do. We choose not to do that. We choose not to take a paycheck, volunteer our time in the nonprofit, and then only make our money through social media. So that's why we are so thankful when people do want to send a super chat or make a donation on the website. So thank you.
Somebody said, hold on, I lost it. But
Can you see both the dogs sleeping?
no. Oh, that's cute. Basically, like, do we release the animals back when they're healthy?
No, so we are a permanent home for the animals that come here. We are not licensed rehabbers. And in fact, a lot of our animals come from the licensed rehabber, Kim. And so if she has an animal that is deemed non releasable, we are a permanent home for those animals.
So we're on the other end.
Yeah.
So it's the animals that cannot be released that either have to be euthanized or be placed in captivity. So we take the animals that cannot be released.
I love it. He keeps on closing his eyes and just kind of dozing.
Mhm.
And then he opens his eyes and looks at me. He's like, "You got
He's so
food?"
cute. He's so cute.
And then he's like, "No food? Okay." You just see his eyes get real big as he's like,
Are
"What?"
there any animals that have surprised you on how dangerous they actually are?
Coatis. I think coatis are really surprisingly dangerous. For an animal that is only a class 3 in Florida, which is a joke of a permit, dude, that thing can hospitalize you real fast. Like they should not be a class 3. And their ability to escape, how strong they are.
So, okay, I've been thinking about this. Like, if you guys don't understand what a class 3 permit is, it is basically the low how do you explain it? It's like the lowest level of needing a permit. It's like the non-dangerous animals. So I agree, like as a professional, yeah, it makes sense that these are class 3. But the fact that random people can just go get a class 3 and buy a lemur or a coati, that's where I don't think that's okay. I think you have to have some kind of like facility or something. Yeah, like if you live in an apartment, I don't think you should be able to own a lemur. And you can. If your enclosure is 8 by 8, you can have a lemur in your apartment. And I think that's wrong. I think that's disgusting. I think it's setting you and the animal up for failure.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Yep.
Wayward Loan sent a $50 super chat.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Here is for the good work and sharing with us your work.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you.
Kiji sent a $2 super chat.
Thank you.
I love your videos and shorts. I've never commented before, but thank you for all you do for these animals.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And yeah, if again, if you want to help like kind of support what we do in a free way, but you don't know what to leave for a comment, just put a thumbs up. Literally. Just putting a thumbs up in it, it helps us out on the algorithm.
8 by 8. I encourage you all when you get off this live to just look up Florida Fish and Wildlife, Captive Wildlife Division, captive animal regulations. You guys will be disgusted at the,
You can chat GPT. You don't have to
yeah,
go do all
well,
the digging. And we don't want to encourage people to use AI, but you could literally chat GPT.
I don't even think
What is
it's
the minimum requirement in Florida?
I don't think it requires that much digging. I think if you just look up like captive wildlife, like regulations for class 3, but for up to 2 lemurs, I'm pretty sure it's 8 by 8. That's for 2 lemurs. Coatis, up to 8 by 8 as well. And every animal you add, you have to like increase it by like 10% or 15% or something ridiculous.
Well,
So go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you guys saw our quality enclosure. You see it every day, right? Our quality enclosure is way above and beyond what is legally required for those animals. And our quality enclosure is bigger than what some famous YouTubers have tried to keep lions in.
It's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, just I think it's like so normalized that animals have like terrible enclosures that I don't know. It's sad. It's very sad. Bob Vanderwalker sent a $30 super chat. No question, just a hello. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Bob. Here's a hawk that just flew by.
Brian said nobody should have freaks denying others pets.
Nobody should
Well,
what?
no one should have freaks denying others pets. Well, wild animals are not pets, Brian.
Oh,
I'm going to talk to you like you're 5 years old. These animals are not domesticated, Brian. Wild animals are not pets. Otters are not pets. Sloths are not pets. Lemurs are not pets. They're not pets. They don't belong in your house, Brian.
well, here you go. I advocate that to own any animal, if you want a dog, you should have to have a permit. 100%.
I mean, wouldn't that, I mean,
It gets a
okay.
free permit,
Here's the thing.
but you should have to have a
Listen,
permit.
listen. As the person that does all the paperwork, I don't want more regulation. I don't want more inspections. I don't want more rules to follow. I really don't. But at the same time, like,
As
yeah,
someone that cares about anything other than yourself and is not just a selfish a-hole, the betterment of these animals would be to have more regulations.
that's the truth. Like, you have to register your dog.
If
Like,
you are against that, the only real answer is I'm just a selfish a-hole that only cares about me. That's the only reasonable answer. I'm sorry. Like Now, the permit should be able to be free for like a dog, like if you want to have a dog, it should be a free permit, but you should have accountability. You should have to be able to show, yes, I take my dog to the vet and I get proper vaccinations. Oh, my dog disappeared. I need to be able to fill that out. That way, when they go to adopt their next dog, they haven't gone through 30 dogs. There was a place on the way to Everglades National Park I would pass. We literally called it Dead Dog Bend because almost every other like week there would be a new dog ran over. The dog would die, the guy would go adopt a new one, and then it would get ran over again. He was on a very busy road, didn't have a fence. If you go through dogs like popcorn, you probably shouldn't have dogs. Yeah, at that point, you're just like feeding dogs to vultures in your front yard via car. Like, what's, it's really sad and messed up.
Beagle Mom sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
Has Big Mac been contacted yet by Dancing with the Stars?
He is nuts, although he should.
Hope sent a $2 super chat.
Thank you.
Can you feed Big Mac a Big Mac and ask him for a review?
So although that is his name, it's named after the truck sandwich, and a Big Mac sandwich is not a healthy food item for them. So even though it might be funny for a video, we're not going to do it just because that's not healthy food for them.
Some people should have permits to have kids, let alone animals.
Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
I disagree with the dog and cat perspective, but the wild animals I agree with. Let me just tell you, I think if you were in rescue, you would feel differently. I think that a lot of people genuinely don't understand how bad it is, especially in like Florida and the southern states and Texas. Like, I encourage you to follow these rescue groups and on Facebook, all these like private
Well,
pages that like try to find rescues for these animals, but there are so many animals that are being starved and dumped and neglected and they're just running around breeding unspayed, not neutered. It's a huge problem.
here's what I would the perspective I think is that if you are a reasonable, nice person, you probably at least try to associate with other reasonable, nice people. And if you do that, then you are blind to the horrors of the reality of people who are not nice and decent. And so when you work in rescue, you are exposed to how unbelievably horrible and awful some people are. And again, if you live a normal life and you don't work in that field and you're a nice person, it's not like you're hanging out with evil people. You would never choose to be someone who's exposed to people who abuse their dogs horrifically. So you are ignorant to the facts.
What just happened last week? The man was arrested because he had three starving dogs in the town over with chains embedded in their necks. If you have
Embedded.
embedded in their necks,
And so, again, like
that had to be surgically removed.
if you're a
Happens a
nice
lot.
person, you're likely in your bubble of other nice people who don't abuse animals, and that's great, and I love that. But it does make you ignorant to just how truly horrifically awful a surprisingly high percentage of humans are. And like again, you're not exposed to it, so you become blind to it. But when you actually like you work in, you are a part of rescue, you really start to see just how gross.
Go volunteer for a week at a shelter, and I think you're gonna change your opinion, and it's gonna make you hate people. "Oh, I'm moving and I bought a puppy, so now my 15-year-old dog with all these health issues, I have to surrender it." Like, you think anyone's gonna adopt that dog realistically? Do you think Anyway, Vin Dang sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Chris, you must be super quick because that's if that dino seating and looking at you lunges, you can dodge like a ninja, I bet.
That's why I hold the stick the way I do. If you've been watching the whole live, you saw earlier he did. And the first thing he touched was my stick because of the way I hold it. So it is often subtleties exactly like this that are not apparent to a casual viewer who doesn't work with these animals, but just the way I'm sitting in a relaxed state, I am protecting myself actively right now, which we just showed, before this guy got on, I'm assuming, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's not a nice conversation, but it's an important one.
It's true. You know,
It's reality. Reality sometimes sucks.
I think it's the person who said about you should have a permit to have kids. I bet that person works in childcare. or has before, because until you do,
A lot of people just live in their own
you
bubbles.
live in your bubble of nice people. And that's great. And I wish everyone had that niceness around them all the time. But when you work in childcare, not that I have, but I have friends who have, the stuff that you learn happens regularly. It will absolutely blow your mind how horrifically awful humans can be. And when you're a normal person, you associate with other normal people. I keep on saying it, like it's the environment that you're in that allows you to be insulated from how awful people can be.
Victoria sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
What are your top 3 nerdy facts about crocodilians?
Top three. What are some cool ones? I think a really cool one is that like he can hold his breath for like 6 hours at a time. He can slow his heart rate to less than a beat per minute. Oh, he's gonna yawn, I think. You got your phone?
Yeah. Here, catch. Get the glottis. So, guys, take a look at the back of his throat. It's going to be hard to see. Oh, he's recording it. So you guys can see the glottis sliding back.
Is that a big yawn? Oh, is that a big yawn? Boop.
Well, that was
It's
cute.
a good reel right there. I'm posting that today.
Okay. Top 3 nerdy alligator facts.
Um, yeah. So, being able to hold their breath for 6 hours. Don't you post that before I do it?
Oh, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
This is the fights you have when you're social content creators, social media creators. Anyways, holding the breath for 6 hours, slowing the heart to less than a beat per minute. There's an example of how holding my stick just literally saved me from getting bit, by the way. Oh, see that jaw flex? Oh, he's gonna steal my stick. Not for you, bud. They pull the blood to the vital organs and they hold their breath that long too, which is really interesting and cool. Um, Not having to eat for an entire year. Tell me that's not insanely cool. You could take him and literally not feed him an ounce of food for the next year and he'll survive that. That's insane. In fact, I'm pretty sure they can go a lot longer than that. You know, he just went 6 months without eating because we had a brutally cold winter. And when it's cold, they can't digest, so they don't eat. So he just went 6 months and he barely lost any weight. So I bet you he could go 2 years without eating anything. Third, I guess third would be that he is not a living dinosaur, but actually shares a common ancestor with dinosaurs, which are the archosaurs, which is a fun nerdy fact. Oh, and along those lines, sorry, bonus nerd fact. Um, the crocodilian body type is wildly successful. So this is not a primitive animal. People often, oh, it's primitive because it hasn't changed. No, that doesn't mean primitive. That means successful. That means if your body type has to change, it's because it sucks. This is a successful body type, and the crocodilian body type has actually evolved multiple times. We have what were called phytosaurs, which looks exactly like a crocodile, not a crocodilian. That's insanely cool. Just because it's such a successful body type.
You'll have to show me that later. Vin Dang sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Nice to see what you guys are doing for those animals of the sanctuary. Buddha bless you and your team and channel.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian, I think he's the same guy that asked about if he were to attack. That was it right there. So when he advances forward, the first thing he's going to touch is that stick. That's why it's pointed just like that, and he goes to bite the first thing he touches. So that was that in perfect example.
Chris looks so buff today.
That's just me every day, baby.
Didn't we went to the gym yesterday? That's probably why.
Probably why? It's because I am.
Okay. I'm slowly roasting in the sun. Is this for real?
The deer fly.
It is for real. Has deer fly season started? Is just not that bad this year because of the drought?
Yep, that's right. But they're around.
What can you bench?
I don't. So I don't really go to a gym. I work out at home. and almost all my workouts I do are calisthenics. So I do like push-ups and sit-ups and crunches and like at home stuff with just my body weight. So
I have to
like
bet.
we went to the
Mm,
gym yesterday. That was the first time we've been
okay.
inside of a gym in a couple months. So I should do like a I should charge money to do a workout plan for people to do at home without having to go to the gym. That's my next financial endeavor, guys.
Now you're gonna have to talk louder because I'm further away.
That's fine. But you too can look like this for $29.99 a month if you subscribe to the Gator Chris Croc Fit channel. That's what I need to do right there. Make that's how we make the money.
Chris is so humble, LOL.
I mean, if y'all knew what I was actually capable of and I like to brag, y'all wouldn't even understand.
You mentioned the last stream that Bella and Big Mac have not shown courtship behaviors. What is alligator courtship?
So that's where they would start bellowing together, both of them. So we've heard them bellow and the males are bellowing, but um a male bellowing can be done to impress the female, or it could just be done to be territorial. Stallone bellows all the time. He has no interest in a girlfriend. We tried that multiple times. So he's bellowing for the other boys to show off how big and tough he is. He's not trying to impress a female. So if he's bellowing, it could be that he is trying to impress Bella and she's not receptive to it. Or he might just be bellowing to talk back to Dino, who does have a lot of girlfriends and definitely is trying to impress his females. The thing is, to us, it all sounds the same, but to them, I'm sure those bellows sound different and have different meanings that we can't perceive. Now, then also, if they do decide that they like each other, then you'll see the male and female like rub noses together and start blowing bubbles on each other. It's really cute, actually. But we haven't seen any of that yet.
What's for dinner tonight? Are you hungry? I just made you a huge lunch. But yeah, I feel like we just finished lunch and I don't even have time. I haven't even thought about dinner yet. Tell them what you had for lunch today.
Rice and beans and tofu.
Barbecue tofu.
Oh, I didn't say this earlier, guys. If anybody does make a donation to the nonprofit through our website, leave a comment and let us know because it doesn't notify us like if you did. So if you do decide to make a donation for the animals through our website, bellowingacres.org is where you do it through. Leave a comment and let us know so we can say thank you.
Have you heard about the Dinosuchus, which was an 8-ton alligator that was 33 feet long, so terrifying that the name literally means terrible crocodile in Latin?
Yeah. I'm very familiar. Yeah, he's a big gator, man. Like when you're just sitting next to him, you're like looking at him like, that's a pretty big alligator.
Question on gator cannibalism. Is it because they're hungry or because they killed one another and don't want to waste the meat?
Oh, it can be either. So you have to consider the idea that these are complex, intelligent animals, and their actions can have multiple motivations and multiple lines of motivation that may lead to the same event. So let's say a pair of males have no intention. Oh, Gabby, you got to pick this up. That is definitely going to disappear.
Oh, yep.
It's the microphone piece. You want to just give it to me and I'll put it in my pocket?
Yeah.
I don't want to move with him next to me like that. That will disappear in here forever. Anyways, so let's say we have two male alligators and it is not in their mind that they are trying to eat one another at all. And but they get into a fight. And in a territorial fight, sometimes you can tell one is like trying to like actually uh kill the other one, and sometimes they're just trying to drive the other one away. So even let's say the motivation is just to drive the other one away, they're not even trying to fight to really fight. let's say one of them loses that fight and accidentally gets killed in that fight, not even like, and I do mean it is literally this complex. I have watched this thousands of times where you see one male go up to another one and he just puts his teeth on him without trying to actually hurt the other one. He's just saying, "Get out of my turf." When if he wanted to, he could do a full crush and kill the other one, and he doesn't try to. So it is literally that complex. So let's say one of them even accidentally kills the other one, then he's gonna eat them because that's meat, and that's how they think, that's how they operate. So like it may not have started as intentional cannibalism, but it's like a waste not, want not kind of thing.
Carol Hedden sent a $20 super chat.
Thank you, Carol.
I started getting memories of my gator post with Bella and Big Mac in training. So it's my 1 year anniversary with Bellowing Acres.
Oh,
I
cool.
still feel like a newbie. It's been surprisingly rewarding. Love you all.
That's awesome. Thank you. And happy anniversary.
Does Chris play video games?
Yeah, we play Apex like every night. I got Gabby to play with me now, so I'm that's like my favorite game probably to play is Apex and Apex Legends. And yeah, got Gabby to play it about a year ago. I got her into it too, so now we play together all the time.
Would you do some playlists on your YouTube channel? I try to watch all the videos about Big Mac to get the full story.
Yes. Okay. So, um, I recently got a new cameraman slash editor. He's only been here once. We're still trying to figure it out. We're going to see if he's going to be a good fit or not. But that is something that we did discuss as one of his possible jobs is like helping me manage social media and manage videos.
I think the problem is you don't do like episodes, like you do giant vlogs. So there's so much that happens in a vlog. So like
You
if
could
you're
do
getting an
no
if you're getting a new alligator and a new porcupine, which one does that go in? The new alligator or the new porcupine vlog, like or
okay. No,
playlist? I don't think. Oh, she just yawned. Bella just yawned.
mm,
We could certainly try.
yeah. So you could do that, but you could absolutely do a Big Mac playlist that shows the day he got here, the multiple vet visits we did before, him getting lost. I mean, like boom, 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 boom. Those are all like to go down that list with him. I think that's a great idea. Same with Dino. You could show every vet visit that we've done with him, all the different discussions about veterinary care and the day that we caught him and all that stuff.
Have you played The Last of Us?
I have not. I definitely am more of a first person shooter, like high energy. You know,
If one of your gators were to nest and lay viable eggs, would you remove them?
yes, yeah. As a sanctuary, guys, we are providing a home for animals that need it, not trying to create more animals that then live in captivity. So if they do nest, we'll be collecting the eggs and we'll feed the eggs to the other animals here. Which I guess I need to clarify because an unbelievable amount of grown adults don't understand that eggs don't have babies in them until they're incubated. So if you collect the eggs immediately, there is no baby. There's no baby. I don't know why this is such an insanely foreign concept for so many grown adults,
I
but
mean, a lot of people don't even understand that reptiles lay eggs.
I guess that's true.
They think that, turtles take care of their babies and they're gonna just pop out I don't know.
It's
I'm not
not
sure.
good.
I don't I feel like this was like
Basic information.
elementary stuff, but I don't think it is anymore, honestly.
Well, the people are only getting dumber and dumber, guys.
It's true. Hello, Chris from Michigan. Now that you have the salties, do you have another dream animal that you'd like to have at the sanctuary?
Um, I mean, a Cuban croc would be really cool, but yeah, I guess that's kind of high on my list of cool species, which is a lot. I think that's a lot more likely for us to end up with one of those than it was for us to have two saltwater frogs.
Have you guys figured out how to give out the emu eggs?
So we're going to be working on that real soon here.
because our volunteer that does all the shipping just finished school. So now she's back for the whole summer, which means we can start doing the alligator paintings again, potentially the emu eggs, potentially some alligator teeth. So now that she's back, we'll kind of be able to sell some stuff again.
I tell you what, guys, it is so nice out here. Like all you hear is the breeze moving through the trees. You hear the wild birds. You hear our birds. Occasionally, you hear an airplane. No cars, no honking, no sirens. I mean, usually not even any planes.
Lori said, dumber who's sitting next to a gator. Yeah, but Lori, like, this is his career. So, like, that comment is dumb because you're ignorant.
I don't know how you tune into a successful. Let me not be humble for a moment. I don't know how you tune into a successful social media mogul who is able to fundraise hundreds of thousands of dollars enough to literally pursue his life dreams, accomplish those life dreams, create an entire animal sanctuary that's home to almost 300 rescued animals.
And then have
And
the
you're
audacity.
the one watching me from your bored little life.
Yeah,
And
Lori,
you say I'm the dumb one. Well,
go back to your husband that hates you, Lori.
okay, all right, that's a little much, but
Truth hurts. Truth hurts, Lori.
oh man.
Sometimes people need to be humbled, you know?
That's like the people from the peanut gallery watching the stars and being like, "Wow, you suck." What? As I literally am sitting here looking around like it's so beautiful. I am living my dream. I don't hear sirens. I don't hear cars. I'm not stuck in the city. I'm on my 40 acres as a successful man before 40. Pretty amazing. I'm basically retired. I basically retired at about 35. Pretty epic.
And guys, it's not like we're rolling in money. It's just what we've
No,
created.
we would be if I chose to use that money for personal gain instead of creating an animal sanctuary.
Yeah, we live very humble lives. Like, we really do.
Yeah, because I have bigger goals. I want to build an animal sanctuary. If I wanted a nice house and a nice car, we could have had those things. Instead we chose to build something that saves animals and live humbly.
Vin Dang sent $85 super chat.
Thank you.
Chance you guys can record the gators communicating with each other in the water. I think we have videos of that.
Yeah, we do have some videos. Unfortunately, there's not a go-to video about it. That okay, here's another thing. So with this new cameraman editor, that's what I do want to do. I want to have him with time, and I'm paying him to do it. To go through all of my just endless amounts of footage and put together specific gator communication video because that's something that we can't just make happen in here, and I can't make a video on it without just sifting through hours and hours of footage to pull those pieces out.
Broadside sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
Minnesota deputy had a call 2 weeks ago for a loose gator at the lake. I thought it was fake. Your videos helped me know how to safely capture it. Although I'm no expert, I knew how to respect it. 4 feet.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, that's just so sad.
Well, I mean, yes, that's not awesome, but it's awesome that they were able to capture it.
Yeah, no, but it's just so sad that these animals are ending up in states that they're gonna
Yeah,
freeze to death.
yep. But on the
That's awesome that you caught it and you didn't get bit.
well, yeah, on the positive side of that, I do have people that watch my videos and like I learn a lot from how you do things, and I work in law enforcement or fire firefighter. Geez, why did I stumble through that? That have to respond to a wildlife call, and they're able to do the job better because they've seen my videos, which is amazing. Which makes me want to put out videos. This is specifically how you catch an alligator. The problem is, then you have bad people use that just the same. So nobody's asked this one yet, but is
Hold on. Someone said, we're the most humble, more humble than you. You spelled where incorrectly. You spelled than incorrectly. Get off YouTube and go grab a grammar book. Continue.
Anyways, some people have very tiny, fragile egos to match other tiny things on their body. It's okay. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so sleeping. He had both of his eyes closed a minute ago, and so people ask, "Is he asleep?" No. So, well, maybe, kind of. So they don't sleep like we do. They do what's called unihemispheric sleeping. So half of the brain goes to sleep at a time. So even when he's like dozing, like he just was a minute ago, he had both eyes closed. Now he's got one eye closed and one eye open. That I think indicates his probably half of his brain is sleeping right now, but he's still aware of what's going on and listening with the other half, which is the same thing dolphins do actually. So for aquatic animals that breathe air, it's a very advantageous thing since you have to be aware enough to know I need to come up and breathe and I need to be aware of my surroundings so I don't drown myself, but still be able to get sleep by turning each side of the brain on and off.
Would you consider doing an online handling training course so you can provide these videos to people with legitimate use for a donation to the sanctuary?
Yeah, so I have actually thought of that. And but same issue is you will absolutely have people who will pay for that and want to do it that are just then going to go poach alligators or just want to go do it even if they're not a bad person, they're not trying to kill it, they're going to go to just do it for fun to catch wild alligators, which is illegal and I don't want to, I don't want to help support those actions. So it's like, like how do you It's the same. Okay, it's the same question I had when I was like teaching martial arts. I'm not a martial arts expert by any means, but like I used to teach. I did martial arts for years, and I would teach the kids class, and then so I'm not like a full on my dojo thing. I want to be clear. But I would teach the kids class, and I would have the same kind of thought process of like, okay, I'm teaching this kid how to punch. Is he going to go punch, his brother in the face for nothing? Like, you're teaching someone skills that can be used for bad things or good things. And like, at some point, you're like, well, there's nothing I can do. I'll make more of a positive impact teaching people how to do this thing and hope they do the right thing with the knowledge. Complicated. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Having some permanent cameras would generate ad revenue with the constant live streams and enclosures.
Bruh, you guys, I live here. I walk around here naked.
Well, okay,
There's going to be live camera. I
here's
mean, that's it right there.
we share so much of our lives as it is. Like we share so much. Like sometimes we do want a little bit of personal space. So we're
Oh,
not going
yeah.
to have live cameras.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, I'm just being straight up. We live here. Yeah, I want to walk around my own 40-acre property in the nude. I can.
Yeah, but you never do that. You act like you do that all the time.
Okay, well,
I've never seen you do it once.
we have. What do you mean once? Yes.
Okay, one time. When we first bought the property once.
Yeah. So, well, for one, that has happened. Also, I very regularly do walk around, just in like my boxers or something. I don't need people watching that on live stream either. So, there's an element of privacy because we do live here.
Really quickly, I just want to say something really quick and then we're gonna move on. I'm ignoring like and blocking like a lot of like the dumb comments, but I just had to block somebody 'cause she's like, there's a lot of viewer bashing going on here. I don't know what world you guys live in where you think that you're gonna speak to us a certain type of way or comment and like not get a comment back. That's not bashing anybody. That's telling it how it is. We are over here minding our own business. You come on our page and you're rude. I match energy. I'm gonna be rude back. If you don't like it, get off the internet. Like I don't know what to tell you. And with that, we're moving on.
Well, I work, doing shows and tours most of my life and doing the working at a public facility and doing shows, you have to deal with like the customer's right mentality.
Viewer bashing.
Because I'm working for a place and if I offend someone, I can get fired. I own this place. I
Go
can't get
go
fired.
complain to the boss. The boss is right there.
I'm the boss.
Like go complain to the
So
boss.
I do what I want. whenever I want. It is my place. If I don't like you, GTFO, you're blocked.
I
Too
just
bad.
here's the thing, like,
Well, it's a sense of entitlement that is just so rampant now where people think they can just be a-holes and there's
and
no
because we're
consequences.
public figures, like,
Yeah, no,
that's not professional. Dude,
I don't care.
I
My
I
place.
don't care either. I don't care. I don't care.
Now, obviously, we do try to
Oh, I
create an atmosphere of welcome for people who are just asking a question, not meant to be rude. You know, you can ask questions and like ask it in a nice way. You know, like okay, here you go. If somebody is like, wow, that guy's an idiot. He's sitting right next to an alligator. Hmm. Or perhaps you who do not work with the animal are ignorant. Ignorant is not an offensive word, by the way. That just means you don't know. So if you are a nice person, you are going to think, what is going on here? That man must know something I don't know to be able to sit here because from my limited knowledge, I would assume he'll be instantly killed by the alligator. So how is he sitting so close without being attacked? He must know something I don't know. So let me ask him, how is this possible? That's a respectful way to approach that. Now, if you're a rude a-hole, then you're like, well, you must be dumb because I would never do that. No, of course you would never do that because you know nothing about these animals, which is expected.
gotta move.
That's not something to talk poorly about somebody for, but it's all in how you frame the question. You know, there's a respectful way to find your answer by saying, like, wow, I don't know a lot about alligators. How is it safe for you to be sitting like that? Which somebody did ask in a respectful way, and I did explain it to them respectfully. And then someone else said, you're dumb because you're sitting next to an alligator. Obviously, if you come at me like that, I'm not going to be nice to you because I don't have to because I'm the boss.
Yeah, I don't know what world some of you guys are living in where you think that because we're on the camera, we have to always be nice and happy and positive and answer everything with patience. Like, that's not reality. We're people. It is what it is. If you're rude, I'll be rude back. Like
Look,
that crazy lady on Instagram saying that's how whales nurse from 20 feet away. Like,
yeah. Well, you know,
anyway.
we got a lot of people that grew up on participation trophies and never had to actually develop real merit in their life, and it shows, you know?
I limit myself so much too. I really do.
Well, okay,
Like,
here's the other way to look at it. You you will never find a successful person who is saying things like that. So, I consider myself to be a very successful person, and you will never find me commenting on somebody else's thing, belittling them or saying anything rude to them. I just don't do that. And you don't see other successful people do that either, you know? Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know a better way to put it, you know? I'm just gonna sit here next to my 10-foot alligator and make my little stick on a leaf project I'm doing over here.
what if the commenter was joking and it was received the wrong way? It's hard to convey tone. It is.
It is
That's why you should also kind of be
put a smiley
careful.
face,
Yeah.
laughing face.
Or just say just kidding. Cause it is hard to read tone, but at this point, like, we don't give people the benefit of the doubt.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is unfortunate when that does happen, and it is unfortunate. And sometimes people aren't trying to be rude, but also, just because we're on this topic, guys, when you do have I have over 10 million followers across all my social media platforms if you add it up. YouTube is my smallest channel. So if you add up my other channel, it's over 10 million. And when you look at it from that perspective, there's every single day, if I have a viral video especially, I have thousands of people wishing me death, and it does make you less than friendly.
Someone said, but the person who made a comment could be a kid. I feel like a majority of the time that's not actually the fact. And again, I don't think that's
Which
an
is true.
excuse. I think as a parent, you have to control your kid. And I think if you're a kid in the real world that says something to an adult, they're probably going to tell you off and you're going to have to grow up real quick. So,
So, I have thought of that too, and so I made it a habit for a while. Anybody who left a comment, I looked at their page. It is almost exclusively
men.
30 to 40 to 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively. That's what's crazy. Like, it's not children. I made it a habit to be like, maybe I am being harsh because I had the same thought. Maybe I'm being harsh to kids. And I look it up. It is like exclusively middle-aged men. It's nuts. But anyways, let's talk about animals, you know?
Yes, this is Big Mac.
Yep, he's just chilling. We're hanging out over here. Look at him. He's a cute alligator.
He is really cute. So it said, "You guys are minor celebrities, which is probably stressful in ways most can't imagine." The most frustrating thing about it is, like, you're well known, not me, I try to stay behind the camera, but, like, Chris, he's so well known, he has millions of people, we go out, we get recognized. Everyone's in our business and everyone knows everything, but the money doesn't come with it. So, like, if you were a celebrity dealing with all this with billions, sure, but like the money's not there. Like,
Yeah.
we're doing this, to fund the sanctuary. So that's like the annoying part about it,
Yeah.
you know?
That yes, it is. Social media fame doesn't come with money.
Yeah.
That's what's nuts about it. Now I'll tell you guys, I having my glimpse of like my minor amount of fame, I couldn't imagine what it actually is like to be a real celebrity. Well, no, I can't imagine because of my perspective. Like, it's awful. I'm telling you, it is awful. Especially what I think about is if you were, oh my God, what is that guy's name? The guy that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. If you're famous for being an actor portraying a negative person's role, I can't imagine how hard that is. And that's why he actually stopped acting. You know, I've read articles about it, or at least very, very limited acting because it's what you become known for. So like my point, my perspective on this is like I was on the show Gator Boys on Animal Planet, and that show was entirely scripted. Every single interpersonal interaction on that show was written by a producer in California. Half the people on that show never worked at that park a day in their life. In fact, some of the people who are rescuing gators are literally gator poachers. And so I was a part of this, and it's a reality show that's almost entirely fake. So then in my real life, I would be out in public and I would constantly, like during the height of the show, everywhere I went, I'm not kidding, everywhere I went, I was recognized everywhere. Now I'm famous off social media because that show is old. So now we get recognized. Usually, if we leave the sanctuary, I'm usually recognized by one or two people a day. When the show was big, it was like dozens of people every day, everywhere I went. And but I was recognized for a fake, fictitious show, and people would bring up things that happen on that show as if they think it's real. And I'm like, it would be like embarrassing crap or like arguments you had between you and another person. They're like, wow, you really lost that argument. I'm like, yeah, because that guy doesn't even work at the park and it's a fake scripted argument between me and somebody that a producer wrote in California that I literally had to read a script off of. Anyways, the point being, when you're recognized everywhere you go for something that you don't like, it makes you lose your mind. And that's why I quit the show season two. You know, it was a very successful, it was a number one show on Animal Planet for a couple years. It went on like 5 or 6 seasons. I quit because I literally couldn't handle the fakeness and then being recognized in the real world for something that's completely fake and a lie. So, like, and again, small scale. Imagine you are the guy that plays Joffrey. Everywhere you go, you're the most hated character in television. I would lose my mind. You know, I genuinely feel sorry for that guy. Even though he made millions, it's hard to feel sorry for somebody who makes millions. But like, that's rough, dude.
Money doesn't buy happiness, though,
That's very true.
you know?
I would do what well, I would do what we do anyways. Isolate. I'd have a big property and never have to deal with anybody.
Yeah.
That'd be so hard to do.
Why don't the foxes let you pet them?
So they all came. What are you doing? He's moving his leg. They all came from a fur farm in Iowa in incredibly cruel and abusive conditions. So, understandably, they hate humans because of that. Where they were kept in little, like 3x2 wire cages where they actually literally kill and cannibalize one another. No protection. And they're just ripped out of there to be killed for their skin. So, understandably, they don't like humans.
How is the broken jaw gator, and do they have a name?
Her name is Josephine, like Josephine, which is funny talking about Joffrey.
Well,
But
that's when if it was male, it would have been Joffrey.
yeah. So she is doing great though. Yeah, I checked on her right before we went live and she's doing well. And I have filmed an update about her. It's just on the GoPro and I haven't got it out yet to actually post.
How many species of animal do you care for?
Boy,
We don't know.
what I mean, we do.
I mean, we
We
could
can
figure it out. We have a list, but species, I don't know. Like we could
that's
tell you how many
pathetic.
animals. Yeah, I'm not sure because how many different species of tortoise do we have alone and
How many different species of crocodile?
bird and yeah, yeah.
How many do we have? You know, off the top of your head, we have American alligators, what?
One, two, three, four,
Water croc, dwarf caiman,
six,
both dwarf caiman.
7.
That's
We
six.
have 3 different caiman. We have a speck.
Typical caiman, seven. And then what do you count Angelus and Nessie because they're hybrid?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, so possibly seven, possibly nine species of crocodilian.
Are you happy with how Milo is settling in?
I think he's doing pretty good. I wish he got, you know, Asami liked him. That's,
We could try again.
I think we should try again maybe in a year, let him get bigger. Right now, she hates him. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But I think maybe after he's a little bigger and more mature, maybe she'll be more open.
What if we put her in that big enclosure with him?
Well, I mean, we had them in the house together and she,
No, I know, but like, what if we did that? I don't know. How about putting a GoPro on a gator for a POV?
so I have done that a couple years ago. I did it. Not a bad idea to try again.
Is he chill enough for that though?
Yeah.
You can get it on him.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yes, we do live in Florida, North Florida. You have 200 people watching.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if I said this during a video yet, but if you guys remember, well, I know I said this part is that I have a GoPro. I when I film the alligators, I do it with a GoPro with two GoPros on the end of a stick, and that way one stick is held this way for YouTube, or one GoPro is held this way for YouTube, and one GoPro is held this way for shorts and reels. And that stick, I was doing a wild dive in a river and I was filming wild alligators, and my lanyard broke and it got taken away in the current. Well, my friend went back to that spot and he found the GoPros, which is insane. You know, like a couple months later. So I'm gonna get that thing back.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You didn't know?
No?
Yeah, Joe found it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The GoPros that you lost?
Yeah, he found them, which is insane.
When did he tell you that? Maybe I was in
A
New
couple days
York.
ago.
That was probably in New York. No way.
Yeah.
That's freaking
So
amazing.
he's mailing it back to me. Um,
How did he know it was yours? Just the rig. Yeah, I guess the rig. Yeah, true. Wow.
yeah. So I'm getting those. Now the GoPros are fried. The memory cards probably still work.
Are they fried?
Huh?
Are they?
The GoPros?
Aren't they meant to be underwater?
Not for like 2 months, fully submerged.
Can we return them?
He opened them up and they're rusted on the inside. So yeah, they're toast. But the significance is that I had a little plastic piece in there that holds the GoPros together. And if you've watched I've talked about this a lot on Instagram. Currently, what I've been doing to film is I literally tape together the two GoPros because I cannot find that plastic mount that allows dual filming anywhere in the United States. It's only in Europe, and I got to pay $100 for shipping to get it, and I refuse to do that. So I've just been taping my GoPros together, but now we got that thing. I'm going to get it back, and I'm really excited about that because then we'll be able to film without the GoPros. When they're taped together like that, we get like a lot of audio interference and clunkiness in the audio, so it'll fix that. That's exciting, and I'll get that footage.
That's crazy.
Isn't that great?
Did he just say, "Hey, you'll never guess what I found," or
Yeah, he called me. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
pretty funny. Which also along those lines, if you don't have a question to read, I film almost everything with GoPros, but I recently got an Osmo Action 6 camera. I think it's better than the GoPro. The color looks better. I just think like right off the memory card, everything about it like looks better. And especially now that I hopefully the new cameraman slash editor works out well. If he does, he's going to edit on a laptop. I edit everything on my phone right now, and my phone does struggle with the 4K footage, and it's kind of a pain. So if he's doing it on a laptop and we do 4K, and then the file size is larger with the Osmo one. Anyways, I'm just saying I might switch everything over, and it should look better if I decide to make that jump. It'd be exciting.
Osmos are good and replaceable lenses.
Yeah, they seem to be a better system overall. So we were just filming with Coyote Peterson. He came to the sanctuary. Everything he does is with the Osmos. So that's another reason why I'm like, might be better to move over. If he's doing that, obviously he knows the camera gear better than I do.
I'm assuming Gary the snail is asking me this question. Have you kissed him or kept the relationship professional? Do I give a professional answer? I've done a lot more than kiss him,
Been tracking
Gary.
that for years,
This is
Gary.
my fiance of 10 years.
uh,
Can the gators differentiate you from other people?
absolutely. I think about
Oh, maybe Gary was asking about the gator in your relationship? If you've kissed the gator or kept it professional?
I don't kiss anything but my fiance. Yeah. All right. This ain't Alabama, guys. Dun-dun.
Do we have a question that I read and I got distracted? I don't
I think
remember.
there was.
I don't know. Remind me because I got distracted. I'm excited to see the new prairie dogs with the new girl. I miss Poppy, but they needed time to get used to each other.
Yep. And they're doing good. So what's funny too is while they
Oh yeah, if you could tell each other apart. Sorry.
oh yeah, they tell each other apart. Yes, absolutely they do. Very easily. Um Basically what I like to say is any sensory ability you have, anything you can do, they can do better. That's what I think about every time. Um I do think we have better eyesight than they do. But I mean, I would get that line in my head just because it's funny and it's catchy from the movie or whatever. But yeah, they have excellent hearing, excellent sense of smell, pretty darn good eyesight, and yeah, all they do is look at you because people are like, well, how do they know? I'm like, because they got friggin' eyeballs. They look, they see. You don't look like someone else. That it is just that simple, you know. Um, yeah.
If I entered the enclosure with Big Mac, would he approach me, go in the water, or just sit there like he is right now?
So far, he usually just sits there. It depends on the alligator, you know. Dean not like different people. He starts hissing, or he'll go in the water. Um, Bella, I don't think generally cares that much.
I don't think Trapjaw cares.
Yeah. So, well, here's what it comes down to. Again, they're intelligent animals. Have they had negative experiences with different people? If they have, like Dino getting caught every for the vet visits, we had to catch him so many times for vet visits. So now he has learned because of that, if multiple people come in there, there's a chance he's getting caught for a vet visit and he does not want to do that. So there you go. Now, if they've never had a negative experience with somebody, then they don't really care. Everybody's nice in their mind. Um, you guys remember Seven, the alligator I used to work with that passed away when I worked down south? Hated new people because he's been abused by a lot of different people being a captive alligator for years. He's had a lot of people treat him really awful. So, new people, he's very defensive towards. So, they learn that behavior based on past experience. No, no more questions?
Can you kiss the alligator on the head?
No. Again, I kissed my fiance. That's it.
I mean, could you? Yes.
Yes. But I don't like to do that. I think the whole like kissing them thing is very like gimmicky and very
I like to kiss them for photos.
well. My personal opinion is I think it's gimmicky. You know, it is very performative. I'm not a fan of that. Well, Carolina Wren.
Do you keep most of the cocks or gators or rehab them?
So all of our crocodilians are here to stay. Well, all of our animals are. So again, as a sanctuary, we are where animals go to live out their lives when they have been deemed non-releasable by a rehabber or legally are not allowed to be released for whatever reason. They can't go back out in the wild. We give them a home here. That's the whole idea. So none of our animals that we have here leave here.
What social media platform has been the most profitable?
Squirrels are fighting. All the dogs are taken off. Okay, so as far as social media platforms go, it's rough. So YouTube is the one. So okay, what it comes down to is your CPM. Okay, so your CPM is how much you get paid per thousand views. It's like cost per milli or something like that. Or it's either CPM or RPM. Different apps give it different names, but either way, or rate per milli, whatever. It's what you get paid per thousand views. Now on Facebook, my CPM is oftentimes 1 cent. So I can get 1 cent per thousand views. If my video gets 100,000 views, like, do the math, right? So CPM is super low, even lower on Instagram. Instagram is like laughably low. You're getting like a couple million views on a video, you might make $3 or $4. It's insane. Okay, now but CPM varies based on what sort of content you're creating. So these are my CPMs as someone who does educational animal content. Now, if you do finance or crypto, like that kind of stuff, it's a very high CPM. All this is to say that it does vary by what topic you do, what app you're on, and YouTube is the app that pays the highest CPM of any of them. But it is also the hardest app to grow a large following on and actually like retain attention on.
MN Broadside, $75 super chat.
Thank you.
Do the crocodilians exhibit measurable problem solving skills or do they all seem to retain memories like Elliot?
Oh yeah, they all retain memory, but I mean those are two very different questions. So they have an excellent memory, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be good at problem solving. You know, um, and then also depends on how you want to define problem solving. I would say they're pretty darn smart. But it's not exactly like he's trying to put together a Rubik's cube over here. So depends how you want to go down that list of like evaluating intelligence, but they absolutely have a good memory and make associations and remember those associations for years.
Do you require a special license to look after gators?
In this state, you do. It does vary by state and then, of course, by country as well. So, in Florida, to have your alligator permit, you need to have a documented 1,000 hours of experience under a facility with the permit. And then also have a minimum for alligators, a minimum of 2.5 acres of land. For crocodiles, a minimum of 5 acres of land. That's not the enclosure size, that's just the land size. You can have 5 acres and keep your croc in a friggin' bathtub. They don't care about that. It's just more of a burden to the permitting process is why they design it that way.
Do you think Stallone is getting faster?
Maybe, dude, he was so fast in that most recent video. It is nuts. And just like any muscle, the more you work it out, the bigger and more efficient it becomes. So he might be getting faster the more we do it.
I watched Dino eat dirt enough times to know that their intelligence and problem solving skills definitely vary by individual.
This is facts. Okay. They are individual animals. There is a high level of individualism in these animals. Um, they they definitely have personality, put it that way.
Ethan sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Has Aquila flipped out over getting her pond cleaned again?
No, because the last time we cleaned her pond, we caught her and put a rope and held her away so she couldn't attack the pump. But what I want to do I do want to take some of our extra fencing panels and try to set up a little lockout in there so that we can move her into the lockout to be able to clean.
Would you be open to teaching those who want to work with Crocs?
Um, so here's the thing. I've had some pretty bad experiences with that. So I train. You want to say something?
I was going to say, most people, in my opinion, that want to own them, it's for the wrong reasons.
It's
It's to
true.
have a pet, it's to have them in the backyard, it's to have them in a state that you have no business having them in.
Yeah. So there's that part. Also, I was gonna say like when I was younger and more starry-eyed and naive, I trained a lot of different people how to work with alligators. And I would say during that time frame, I was like the most prolific teacher of gator skills. It was pretty interesting. Like we literally called, we used to call my house like Chris's home for wayward alligator people. And like I trained a lot of different people how to work with them and handle them and whatnot. And then ironically, the person that I put the most amount of time into training and teaching, and he constantly messed things up, and I was very patient. Spent years teaching this guy, and then once he got to a level in his professional career, he thought he could stab me in the back and screw me over. That's exactly what he did. I literally was this guy's friend for 10 years, taught him all this different handling stuff. And then as soon as he thought he can get the upper hand on me professionally, he tried to stab me in the back professionally and totally tried to screw me over, which blew my mind. And I haven't trained anybody since because that definitely made me be like,
Okay, but here's the thing too. Also, a lot of the people that email us are like, literally, I'm trying to buy a crocodile, but I need 1,000 hours. Can you teach me? It's like, bro, absolutely not. So there are courses like at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm that you can pay for and take if you are a professional in the industry and you can learn whether you're a zookeeper in another state or
I would
something.
love to do it here.
I just don't think it's realistic. Like, I
Well, I
we
do love teaching, and I was a really good teacher for that
I
subject.
know, but don't we wanna have all of our alligators, like, chill and, like, trust us? Like, isn't that the goal? I don't think
If
what
we have a communal pond that has a ton of them, that's just not going to be feasible.
either way, we're, like, whatever, a decade away from that probably. And maybe for, like, police officer stuff. You don't think so? Really?
I think we can get that done. We just need to make it a priority. I think we can get it done pretty quickly if we wanted to. But yeah, so okay, so when I was talking to the guy right before the live, I was doing an interview with a reporter about something. When I was talking to him, we were talking about the desire of people wanting to hunt and kill alligators is often just a desire of wanting to have proximity with the animal that they're fascinated by. And unfortunately, in our current culture, the only acceptable way for a grown man to reach or to entertain his fascination with the wild of nature is through killing nature, which I think is a major cultural flaw in this world right now. That as a grown man, your only acceptable terms of mainly, not only, but mainly the most used successful way of interacting with nature is by shooting it in the head. I think it's horribly messed up. I think you should be able to interact with nature in a positive way, and that's often frowned upon and looked down upon, you know. Anyways, one of the things I talked about with him is the idea of having that handling course, and that would take away. If I could offer, you want to learn how to handle an alligator, I'm going to teach you. It's going to cost a lot of money, but I'll teach you that. And so instead of one of these guys paying $20,000 to do a canned hunt on a large alligator, you know that's what they pay. He told me he just went to one of those places. 10 to 20 grand.
That's
Some of
why
them,
we can't compete with some of these like, when we wanna
but
try
that
to
same
save the
guy.
big gators, that's why we can't compete with that.
Well, yes, but that same guy, some of those people obviously they just want to kill something. They want the trophy head. You know, there's trophy hunters. That's awful. But some of those guys also would be very happy to pay the same amount of money because he said sometimes they do no kill hunts. People pay for that. They just want the experience.
So what do they do?
Just
Track
catch.
it and reel it in and then don't kill them.
Yeah. So those people are willing to pay 10 to 20K just for the experience of being able to catch an alligator. And that's something that I could offer without having to have the animal hurt in a safe way. We literally do that here.
Yeah,
Now,
Then you run into some ethical concerns, like, that's not a sanctuary, like,
I know, I know.
that's not,
That's what I was talking about with the reporter. I'm like,
like
we're supposed to be a sanctuary where animals get to come and live out their lives and just be chill and happy. So like, we
yeah,
don't want that.
you can't do both.
Well, yeah, but if you did, then not only is that a massive fundraiser for the sanctuary that goes to the animals, it's also a way to take people away from killing them. Because you do have a large amount of people that would be happy to do that instead of ending the animal's life.
Zoria sent a $5 super chat. Do crocodilians have prehensile front legs like some of the monitor lizards?
Thank you. Do they have prehensile? No. Um, no. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I've ever seen one hanging onto anything just by the front legs without the tail supporting in the water or against the ground or something. Like a bug is crawling on me. I don't know. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of what I just said. You know,
Okay, so someone said, think about what you could do with that money to rehabilitate animals. Okay, but then you start getting into the ethics because some sanctuaries are trying to justify breeding rescued animals to sell them back into the pet trade to fund their sanctuary. It's like, what are we doing
incredible.
here? Like, where? Yeah. So, yeah. Mm-mm. And like realistically, it's not like you're gonna have a whole market of people lining up to pay that. Like, that's not.
They do, and they don't have the social media I do. I I think we could have at least 10 people a year do that. That's 100 grand.
No.
You know, what are some of the comments? Who is that? One of the birds is clucking.
You could definitely do college lectures on the side.
So I do. They don't pay. So especially pre-COVID, I used to do a lot of talks at colleges and whatnot. But yeah, they don't pay, you know. I do most of them for free, entirely for free, just because I want to teach people and be educational. The ones that would pay would give you like $100 or $200, which these days is nothing. That didn't even cover the gas.
Would Big Mac and Billa welcome another female into their enclosure?
Did we try that?
I think we put cheesecake in here with
Yeah,
Bella
we
for
put
a little
Jake
bit.
in here, and I think Bella was chasing her out. Bella's a pretty big girl. So as far as like female gators go, you know, she's 8 foot. She's a pretty big female. So I think she's definitely got the boss attitude. Eyebrows are going up. What comments are you reading?
Could you partner with a TV network in your previous experience on Gator Boys?
Could I like work with them again?
Like a TV network?
Like to redo that or
Just because you have experience.
oh
Chris hates television stuff.
yeah, I
That's another thing. It's like you're selling your soul, you know?
yeah, yeah, dude. I have so many horrible experiences working in TV and again, guys, like I mean, like on Gator Boys, like I quit that show. I could not stand it. You know, you would have a producer in California literally write an argument you're gonna have with a dude who doesn't even work at the place you work at. Like, it was insane. And then you have to go and have an argument with this dude on camera for a fictitious situation that doesn't exist with a guy who doesn't work there. And then it's portrayed on television as if this is real in fact. And then for the rest of your life to this day, people still bring it up and comment and they're like, oh my God, I loved you on Gator Boys. Remember when so and so did this? And I'm like, yeah, I do remember because it was fake, completely fake, 100% a lie. And like you never get away from it, you know?
Do you have issues with pythons around your preserve?
No, we're way too far north. So we're like approximately, I would say about 250 miles away from where the pythons are.
Could you take those people, like the rich people, out to a nuisance gator call, have them pay to help you, and then keep the gator?
So I have thought that same thing. And I'm not the trapper, so I could not do that.
I don't know.
You
Are
would.
you allowed to charge as a trapper or only as a like when you get the hunting permit?
Okay, so I am pretty sure if one of the trappers asked their superior that question, the answer would be no. But also,
Right.
some people probably do it anyways.
Right. Either way, it wouldn't work because each enclosure is $15,000 and they remove 8,000 nuisance alligators a year. I mean, we have people calling us all the time. They want us to save their gator and we explain, why we legally can't. And then they're like, well, can you get it from the trapper? And it's like the only way realistically that would work is if you have a lot of money, like you as the person that's calling in the nuisance alligator, you pay the trapper for the gator and then you pay for its enclosure here. That's the only way, like realistically.
Also, but if we have the communal pond that can house 50 alligators, obviously that's a different story. You're thinking about singular enclosures like this, which you have to do for the really big dudes. But most nuisance gators are not that big and would qualify for a communal pond area.
I've watched some animal documentaries with no humans present, and I felt like a lot of the scenes were scripted and stitched clips together.
Very astute observation. So you are correct. I can't watch animal shows anymore because I know and I'm able to tell when things are scripted, and the majority of them are. Even now, not all of them. I think that like Planet Earth does a great job. I think anything within that Planet Earth series, as far as I have seen, I haven't seen all of it, but the ones I've seen, like, wow, no, this is real deal. But I've seen a lot. He's got both eyes closed, like he's sleeping. I've seen a lot of documentaries. Here's what's insane, guys. I've seen some documentaries and I literally know where they filmed it. I'm like, I recognize that background. I know that's at this facility. And I know they put together two of their animals at this animal sanctuary to film them kill and eat each other for a documentary. I know this to be a fact.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's the equivalent of us literally taking Lola the Coati and throwing her in the pond and letting Big Mac kill her and eat her on camera to sell the footage to go on a nature documentary as if it's in the wild. I literally factually know places that have done this.
People justify it because it was an invasive animal.
No, they did a diamondback and a cottonmouth. Not even
I was
invasive.
talking about the python and the gator.
Yeah, I know that one too. Yeah. But no, yeah, there's that one. But no, I know,
Same facility?
huh?
Same facility?
Yes. Yeah.
But yet they scream from the rooftops about how they're ethical.
Yes. Yeah. Insane, guys. Um, Problem though that we run into is what I was talking to somebody about this the other day is like, if you were to say such things, you are making allegations that can be taken as defamation because how do you actually prove in court? 'Cause they're going to sue you. Well, they can't.
Defamation is incredibly hard to prove. And it's literally if you're just making stuff up and causing them to lose money by making things up.
Well,
Everybody threatens defamation. It's impossible to prove. And what you're saying is not a lie. And there's literal video evidence of that lagoon that millions of people have
dude,
seen.
I know.
So I'm just saying,
Well, I'm saying that because obviously people watching be like, okay, who is it? Why don't you say? Why are you protecting them? And it's like, I'm not trying to protect them, but also like,
What's the
I,
point? Nothing's gonna change. It's not like they're gonna get arrested. No one's gonna care.
well, I'm trying to finish my
Yeah.
train of thought here. Is, I mean, it's literally just talking to a literal police officer about this. And he was saying, like, I wouldn't do it because you're making an accusation that you cannot prove in court. Now, you might know it to be true, and you might be able to convince like regular people, like, hey, this is true, and you know it's true. If you can't prove it in court, you shouldn't make such accusations, is what he said. And I would not be able to prove that in court. So that's the problem. But yeah, it's crazy how many documentaries are filmed. Dude, okay, here's one. Here's one that I can say because, well, because I don't know where it was filmed. So I'm not outing that place so they can't come after me. But I was told by somebody who literally worked on the show that they filmed an entire South America episode for this guy's show. Like a well known TV personality guy, they filmed an entire South America episode in South Florida,
Mhm.
just at some guy's facility who had a bunch of South American animals. And they put that on TV, man. That went out as fact on Discovery Channel. Going to South America. Look at this and look at that. Never left Florida. Did the entire show as if they were down in South America in the Amazon and they filmed it all in Florida. That's insane, man. Tell me that's not nuts. How many people we got on there?
160.
Yeah. I hope this is entertaining to people. What time is it?
6:30.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we got to do the night feeding. We can start wrapping it up here. So ask your last questions, guys. We're not trying to ditch you. So get in some last questions, any topics we've been talking about. If you have been enjoying the conversation, consider supporting your favorite creators and sending a super chat. We got our own bills to pay. So if you've been having a good time, you enjoy our back and forth, consider sending a super chat or consider making a tax deductible donation to the nonprofit through our website, bellwayneacres.org, where 100% of donations go to the animals. We actually don't take a paycheck. And since we're a legitimate 501c3, we can prove that. It's public record. Unlike so many other sanctuaries and rescues that just take your money and put it in their pocket. Hint, hint, a lot of them do it. We can actually prove that we don't and that it is real. We have an actual working, functioning nonprofit, which is a pretty big deal compared to some places I know that are not.
Hey, Chris and Gabby, I admire your work.
Thank you.
Any update on the owls that are coming?
They were supposed to come and the a couple days ago. And the day they were supposed to be here, she said that she had to cancel that day. So now we are back and waiting again, so hopefully soon. No update past that at the moment.
We do not have a Patreon. When are you going back to Mexico?
I don't know. I don't have any plans at the moment. I love it down there though.
Have you had to turn down gators from trappers because of the available space?
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the time, unfortunately. Um I don't
All the
even know.
time. All the time.
All the time. Yeah, I don't even know how many.
Zoria sent a $5 super chat. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
staying real.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. When we go live like this and I just get to rant, it's almost like therapy.
Jessica sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Lots of people asking when we're getting married.
We don't have a date set. The sanctuary basically takes up the entirety of our lives at the moment. So until we get this a little bit more stable and whatnot, then we can think about our own lives. But basically, we put our lives on hold to be able to help the animals.
Al sent a $5 super chat. Much love.
Thank you.
Linda said, I'm going to try to donate soon.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, guys, I'll say if you are not financially stable yourself, please do not donate to us. Keep that money for yourself, please. We never want anybody to feel pressured or anything like that. So if you're not in the best financial situation, you don't need to donate to help us. You can help us for free by hitting share like, leaving a positive comment on everything that we do. If you don't know what to say, just leave a thumbs up. That's literally all you got to do. That helps us out with the algorithm. Um, I say this because unfortunately, it is the people who have the. Oh, she just yawned again. It is the people who have the least who tend to give the most, and the people who have the most tend to donate the least.
And that's why they have the most.
Unfortunately, that is the way the world works.
I was just thinking the other day, if I had like Jeff Bezos's money, like truly, or Kim Kardashian, I mean, I would have like a decent house, but I wouldn't feel the need to have like Hermes bags and all these crazy cars in this mansion. Like, I swear to God, I would like try to fight the laws surrounding animal agriculture. I
Yeah,
really would.
it's
Like,
kind of still
with
still
all that
ethical.
money and all the access to lawyers and this and that, like, it makes me physically ill.
I know. Yeah, I hear Sheldon.
Yeah.
Oh, any more questions?
Still 160 people.
Yeah.
He's saying hello.
Hello.
You guys will see more of Sheldon in 3 weeks. Well, potentially. In 3 weeks, we get to publicly share an animal that we have been caring for the last 2 months. We are waiting the 90 days to share it. That's the legal amount of time that it takes to have an animal like legally be property of a sanctuary. So we are working with FWC, we are working with other rescues, we are privately looking for an owner. No one has come forward so far. We have 3 more weeks. And in that case, uh, we're gonna introduce this animal to you, introduce this animal to the other animal that we have, and then that empty enclosure will probably go to Sheldon.
If you are a member, you know who we're talking about. We've done a couple videos showing this animal.
Please do not say it publicly.
Yeah, don't say it publicly like, "Oh yeah, I love seeing so and so." No, no, no. That's one of the perks of being a member is you get little behind the scenes things like that. Well, the main perk of being a member is you get early access to all the videos. You know. Are you ready for dinner?
Are you ready for dinner?
A little bit.
You're hungry?
A little bit.
I gave you a huge lunch.
I'm a grown boy.
Can gators be trained to do tricks?
I suppose that depends on your definition of a trick. Um, if you consider coming to your name when called a trick, sure. You know. Um, what would be another trick? I don't know. But either way, we're not training for tricks. So
I mean, I'm sure you could. I've seen people like train them to station on like a knee or station on something, hold a paintbrush.
oh, what's up? What did you do? He lifted up his head like he suddenly thought of something.
I've been addicted to pickled veggies. Do you like them? I've only tried pickled asparagus once recently and I hated it.
Hmm. I like pickles
But I
stuff.
also don't like vinegar.
Well, I like. I mean, olives count, right?
Is that pickled?
I think so. Pickles. I like pickles. Yeah, that's it.
Have you ever met an impatient gator?
That one. That was pretty impatient. She's very demanding. He's pretty patient. He he's really good.
Tomorrow are we starting on cheesecake's enclosure?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, to the crested flycatchers.
Still 160 people watching. Oh my gosh, my back hurts so bad. Ugh.
Well, I mean, if you guys want me to keep going live, just send money and I'll be.
Is it true that some gators and crocs are born without tails?
Yes, that can happen, and it apparently can happen in captivity more often due to incubation errors. Improper captive incubation can lead to that, is what I have read.
I hate to say this about Chris, but it's only a matter of time. What's wrong with you?
You know,
Like,
I just
like,
don't understand why people comment that.
yeah.
Like, I've had, okay, first of all, what do you expect to get out of saying such a statement? Because if you hate to say it, then why
Why would you
say
say?
it?
Why would you type it?
Because now you're gonna be blocked because it is rude and just awful.
But before you get blocked, can you genuinely tell me like how you grew up? Did your parents not love you? Like, were you lonely? Did you not grow up in a caring family? I want to understand the psychology behind it. Did you have a terrible childhood?
Well, for me, I've been hearing people say that to me for literally 20 years. 20 years of, if I read my comments, it would be 20 years of every day, sometimes hundreds of people a day saying the exact same thing. And yet, here I am. What do you want me, you know what I mean? Like, here we are.
Well, we answered your question, so can you answer my question? Like, did your parents hate you? Like,
Yeah.
did you not grow up with like love? Because like I think you're trying to rage bait, but there's no rage here. I just genuinely want to understand the psychology. Like, why do you think that's okay to say to somebody? You know?
I don't know. I think,
Can you not read? I said two more things since. Yeah, but you're not answering the question that I asked you. Okay, you're blocked. I'm sorry. I hope you go to therapy.
sorry, not sorry. Well, I know a lot of people, okay, is what we talked about earlier is, and when you say something that is not kind, it is almost always coming from a place of insecurity.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's doing something that's genuinely awful, obviously. Unless you're trying to actually reprimand somebody for doing something that is awful. If somebody's not doing something awful, you're not genuinely trying to reprimand the person and you're just criticizing someone, it almost exclusively comes from a place of insecurity and smallness of that person, you know? So for in my comments we talked about earlier, hate, it's mainly middle-aged men that hate on me. And that comes from a place of insecurity of like, again, I generally try to be humble, guys, but if I was going to not be humble and just try to be straight and honest with you, I'm a very physically fit person doing what I love and living a passionate dream, a career that is a passionate dream of mine. And if you are a fat, overweight, middle aged man who has a dead end job that they don't like, it makes you feel better to try to crap on somebody who is doing all the things you wish you could be doing. Not even to say that somebody wishes they were doing this specifically, but obviously that I am doing something that makes me happy and they're doing something that makes them unhappy, so they want to down the person who is doing what makes them happy. And that's why you'll see these kind of people comment on any manner of things of somebody who's doing something that they can't do, or obviously that something that somebody's passionate about doing. It's not even about the alligator. It's about like, well, this guy is living his dream and I'm not. So I need to put him down.
I
Would you
genuinely want to understand it.
what's
But
that?
I genuinely wanted to understand it.
Well, like, would you agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked.
And then also the fact that I work with dangerous animals then makes men insecure in their own masculinity because I'm obviously a 6'5", 6 pack, ripped dude that wrestles alligators. And if you are insecure in your masculinity, you're going to feel very threatened by somebody like that. And then
You
they, of
yawning?
course, lash out.
You gonna yawn?
No, no, he's trying to get me to give him food.
Just want to say thanks for the content. Growing up on Lake O, I thought a lot about gators. You all have shown me the most of what I thought and knew were myths.
Awesome. Well, glad we can change people's minds on that. And then, if we continue that conversation, that's again why successful people never comment negatively on anybody else.
Mhm.
Like when I, as somebody who is secure and successful, okay, skydiving, that's one, or like not regular skydiving, like base jumping, wingsuit guys. I look at that and I'm like, holy crap, that is insane. From my perspective of what I do, I'm like, bro, that is insane. That is so dangerous and so outside of my wheelhouse and my understanding. So when I see that dude, I don't think I'm gonna write and call this guy an idiot because he's doing something dangerous. I'll literally comment like, "Bro, that was insane. Kudos to you. That is so cool." Like because I think it is. And I recognize that as something I have zero business even ever attempting. And it doesn't make me feel insecure and needing to lash out at them. But if you read the comments on somebody like that, it's all people lashing out and putting them down because they're not a secure man, because they are an insecure person that needs to make themselves feel better by lashing out at somebody else.
Why do our retention ponds only have one alligator? We had two last year, and suddenly there's just one. Do they kill each other for territory? Just curious.
So a lot of times, yes, it will be if it is a single male and another male tries to enter that pond, he'll fight and sometimes kill or kick out the other male. Now, behaviorally, what's fascinating is if you have 10 males, they'll actually get along better than two males. If there's two males, it's like they know they can beat one and dominate the area. But if there's 10 of them, it's like they know, like, what am I can't fight 10 other guys. I guess I got to deal with this.
Okay, it's like a Mr. Beast competition, right? If it's you versus one other person and the winner gets $50,000, you're probably gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. But if it's you versus 100 people and you have to be the last one standing, are you gonna do it? Like fight to the death.
Mm.
If it's you versus one other person, you got 50-50 shot. If it's you versus 100, are you still gonna do it?
Now, here's the real question. Do they know that? Is that a thought process for an alligator?
I'm sure they're like, "No."
There's no way to know. There's no right answer here. It's impossible to know without reading his mind. So you have no way of knowing this. But it could go either way. It could be an actual like conscious decision on the animal's part, or it could be just instinctual.
Juniper sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
Have you ever worked with Chinese alligators normalizing for size with American alligators? Were there any behavioral differences?
I've never worked with them. I've held a few, at a facility that has one. They're fascinating, but I have no experience working with them. Um, they're definitely, from my perspective and limited experience, they seem to be very much their own separate thing. Just like caiman are in the alligator family too. They're in the alligator toridae family. Caiman are very much their separate thing from an alligator. And then within the caiman, like a dwarf caiman is definitely it's totally 100% separate thing from a spectacle caiman, even though they're both caiman, you know? So although they may both be alligators, they're definitely their own separate things.
Storia sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
I was watching Psychology in Seattle's reaction to Manosphere documentary. He's a professor and therapist in psychology, and he's very knowledgeable. Oh, I suggest watching.
I did want to check that out. I have seen that and I did want to look at that. And on that note, if I didn't follow the career I did, one of the possible career paths that always has interested me is psychology. And in fact, a lot of people who are very successful at animal handling, or no, not handling, but animal training, have a psychology degree because it is a huge part of my job is analyzing their psychology. It's not like being a tough guy, it's thinking, what is that animal thinking?
I want to answer this question, and then you can answer it. This question isn't meant to be an attack, just looking for your genuine insight as a rescuer. Obviously, alligators eat meat, but how do you rationalize other animals dying to keep them alive? I don't think there's anything to rationalize. I think it's facts. These animals eat other animals. It's sad. It sucks. We do not eat animals. We are vegetarian. It has to happen, and we are not wasteful about it. Like, we are very respectful. It's not like we're buying hundreds of frozen mice and then just, like, letting them turn into soup and go to waste. Like, everything that we get, is used. We are also getting donations now from Rodent Pro. They're incredible, and they're sending us some high quality stuff, but also some like lower quality stuff that they're like, donating. We also are trying to work out something with Walmart to get their expired meat. So if we don't have to buy it, and this is all stuff that's gonna like kind of get thrown out anyway, that would be like an ideal situation for us. But there's nothing to rationalize. These animals need meat, they eat meat, and it is what it is.
So the way I would answer that, these are obligate carnivores. So to be alive, they have to eat meat. And I do think a lot about the cruel reality of nature that obligate carnivores even exist. Like I think about that a lot actually. Um it makes me really sad, but that is the reality of it. And so for it to be alive, it has to eat meat. Now, we have a lot of rescue animals, and then we feed our rescue animals, like Gabby just explained, with meat that is often already spoiled, expired, or um, already dead. We're not going out of our way. So, but it is awkward to be a 15, I think around 15-year vegetarian who takes care of a bunch of obligate carnivores. That's a weird thing in and of itself, right?
Maybe you're misunderstanding. Someone said it would be humane to dispatch the animals rather than letting the gators do it naturally. Not trying to be rude, but it is what it is. We do not feed live here.
Oh, yeah, we
I
never
think
feed
it's
anything here live.
psychotic. If you feed a crocodilian a live animal, there's something wrong with you. I think you need to be
Yeah,
in jail.
we never, ever, ever would do live feeding here. That's not
The only live thing that we feed are insects because I think if they're like flash
even I feel
freeze,
bad on that.
I do too. I do. I feel bad for the bugs. That's the only thing we feed live here. We don't feed any other live. Even like snakes. I think 99% of the time, there's no reason to feed snakes live animals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so here's the hard one. What about rehabbing baby birds, baby raptors?
I know.
That is a tragic. So if you don't know what we're talking about, this is a tragic thing that baby birds of prey, like baby owl, has to learn how to hunt. So you have to give it we don't do that here, but I'm just saying I know that is a thing. So like I would be heartbroken to be like having to give my baby owl, oh, here's a live rat. Rats are so intelligent. And I'm gonna cripple it so it can barely move so my baby can learn how to hunt. That is so horrifically sad. But that's what you have to do to save those animals. What do you do with that? Like that's a hard conversation right there.
Um, Bloody Polar Bear sent a $2 super chat.
Oh, thank you.
What do you guys do when gators die?
We'll bury them. Anything that passes away on the property is buried. Oh, so what I was going to say too on the, obligate carnivore thing, um, I think another part of that equation that would make things way more problematic ethically is if we were breeding these animals. I think about that. So if you were like, let's say we don't breed anything, just to clarify, we don't breed any animals here. A sanctuary is a home for animals that need it, not a place to create more animals that then live out their lives trapped in captivity. And let's be honest, we do the best we can. This is still trapped in captivity. He should be able to go wherever he wants to go in a waterway, and he's not allowed to as a nuisance gator. So like ideally we wouldn't have any of these animals in captivity, but we're trying to provide the best home that we can for the ones that need it. Now, that being said, there are other facilities that consider themselves a sanctuary that captively breed like Nile crocodiles. For what reason? Why would you do that? And then think about the ethics of like producing an animal that now is forced to live out the rest of his life in captivity. You are not trying to repatriate it to its home range. There is no conservation value in that. And then now you also have to further kill more animals, have to die to feed that animal for its entire life in captivity as well. That's that's messed up, guys. Like think about that. Like that's just wrong. Like I really don't like that. I don't like that idea whatsoever, especially when there's no conservation value behind that.
Yeah.
Curious to see what anybody's thinks about that one.
I mean, if you guys look up the definition of like what a sanctuary is supposed to be, it is supposed to be providing homes for animals. Everybody and their mother now says they have a sanctuary, but they are breeding their animals, like
Buying animals.
buying, and again, there's nothing wrong with buying an animal that you really want, but if you're buying everything and calling it a sanctuary, it's not a sanctuary, that's your own personal petting zoo. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's important that, viewers recognize
This,
and
like,
ask questions.
that seems to be your own personal petting zoo, which you can do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, just be open
Yeah,
about
do
it,
that,
though.
but then don't call it a sanctuary.
Yeah.
If you are buying all of your animals and it's your private collection of animals and you're not actually saving anything, that's your own private petting zoo, which you could say that. That's my private animal. That's my personal animal. That's okay. Like we're not attacking that, but it is a problem when you try to call such a thing a sanctuary and solicit donations.
Well, I think that it's too when the captive care is like bare minimum or not there, and then you're trying to justify your horrible animal care by, oh, well, it's a sanctuary. And then people are like, oh, well, it's rescued animals and they're doing their best. Like, you guys look at Sloth World. Nowhere did Sloth World ever say that they were a rescue, yet everybody and their mother assumed it was a rescue. Oh, rescued sloth. Like, and the slots were being imported, and that happens all the time. These super exotic animals, especially these super exotic venomous snakes that other people are showing, these are imported animals. You guys have to ask questions and you have to recognize it and you have to figure out if that's something you want to support or not.
Okay, even so, saying they're imported animals is like clean verbiage.
They are captured from their
Captured in the
habitats
wild
in the wild
by oftentimes the dozens or hundreds and then shipped overseas to get
in
here.
a
And in
box.
the process of that, 80 to 90% of them die. So when you get one imported animal, now this varies depending on what we're talking about, because some species are more hardy than others. But for many species, to get one imported animal in the US can sometimes take dozens or tens of 20, 30, 50 animals will die in the importation process to get one single healthy individual to the United States alive. So when we say, oh, they're imported, people don't understand that the reality of that means that to get that one imported animal, you are supporting the death of all these other
He's going
wild
to yawn now.
caught animals.
Maybe, maybe not. I thought he was going to yawn.
He might. It
I
does
think he's
like,
thinking about it. Yeah.
but like that's something people need to understand when you support people with imported animals in the pet trade.
Zora said, I've tried to look up some Instagram pages that say they are a 501c3 nonprofit. I cannot find any information online of their supposed sanctuaries.
Yep.
People just lie, so it's important to do your own research. Also, like, if you're not a 501c3 and you're not registered with the Department of Agriculture, then you're not allowed to solicit donations and you can report them for
That
that.
doesn't stop them.
Not that I think the IRS is actually going to do anything, but I'm just saying, like, you can.
And we know of quite a few famous people. I run a sanctuary. Make a donation. It goes to the animals, goes right in their pocket. They don't have a nonprofit. They don't have anything.
Faniel sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
Hey guys, can we see the baby gators more often? Also, are you still learning new things from your gators?
Yeah, actually, I do want to make a point to show the babies more often. And um, I mean, right now they're just in these big tubs back here. You guys see them during the videos over there, but that setup is it, I mean it works for them at that size, but it is not conducive for getting good footage because I got to take the lid off and that scares the crap out of all of them and they all scatter and it just doesn't. So we were talking about building a netted in area because at that size they get picked off by birds. So they have to have that mesh so they don't get picked off by an owl. So we have been talking about trying to make a separate like area for the really small babies that we can do that. Now we have our baby gator lagoon that has the medium size.
The sun is setting. Juniper sent a $10 super chat.
Oh, thank you.
I love to do a gator tour in Florida someday. What are some other zoos and sanctuary you consider ethical? We can't really comment on that and tell you that. Do your own research, ask questions. If it doesn't seem right, it's probably not right.
We how do you how do you say it? You have a good way of saying this. We're like we can't necessarily
We're
We
giving
train.
you the tools, we're giving you the info, and you have
Yeah.
to do your own.
Well, it's just that we run into all kinds of drama when we're like, "Go here, don't go there." Um, and people like try to cause problems for you. They come after you. It just creates like all this interpersonal drama um, that we don't need to be a part of. So that's why like we try not to endorse any place, even to say nice things about a place, because then it creates that problem, right? Um, yeah, is that a good way to put it?
Mhm. Would you consider taking exotic or large felines like bobcats or ocelots? An ocelot wouldn't be in a rescue situation, I don't think. Are there even any
In the US?
in private
Unlikely.
hands like that? I don't think so.
Unlikely.
Bobcat potentially. So Chris has the hours. We have not submitted the hours. It's also another thing to do with the USDA. I don't know. I don't know if we want to do cats. I don't.
Been talking about it.
I think that we should submit the permit just to have it, but I honestly I would rather stay away from that.
Yeah. We had a conversation today about it because if some things change, it could be a more feasible possibility that would make more sense. So maybe.
The underwater gator tours ended in 2024, so they are no longer.
That was 2023.
Maybe 2023. How often do you get organizations or people reaching out about advice on handling gators?
Every day.
Really?
Individual people. Yeah. I don't tell you about most of them. I get on like Instagram.
Mm,
Yeah. It's every day or maybe you want to say like 4 times a week, something like that. Um,
yeah.
it's usually regular people, that just want to learn and stuff. I mean, it's yeah, a lot.
And they're cool animals. Like we don't blame you, for
Yeah,
like wanting to learn, but it's not realistic most of the time.
yeah.
Is that gator sedated? How do you think we would sedate an alligator? You think we gave him like an injection?
Stuck a sedative up his butt.
No, I genuinely want to know, like, if we were to sedate him, like, if he were sedated, like, what do you think? How do you think we did that? And what drugs did we use? And how do we get the drugs? I want to like hear the thought process behind it.
How do you determine the dosage? You have to weigh him to get a proper dosage.
I just want to know, like, do they think that we could just like order them on Amazon or something and like drug him? Because we do get that question a lot. Feed something to him, just saying. Can you answer my question on like how you think we sedated him? Give him something by mouth. Big Mac clearly got into some edibles and is zooted right now. Didn't you used to say that in your shows? We just fed him 50 pounds of marijuana and then someone got offended.
Yeah, I used to say that in my gator shows back in the day. You're wondering why they're not all attacking me because we fed him 50 pounds of marijuana before the show.
Oh, the drugs are wearing off?
Oh my God,
The
somebody
sedative,
get the weed.
the sedative is wearing off.
Give me the THC gummies. He's about to attack.
TM Meow sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Do zoos ever ask for info and training?
Rarely. Um,
Usually they have their own like qualified staff.
yeah, I have a deer fly trying to bite me. All right, time to do night feeding.
Sure.
Yeah, we gotta go feed the skunks and the fennec foxes and the beavers and do our night feeding. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. I hope you all enjoyed the live.
Well, Juniper just oh my goodness. Okay, we just got 2 more super chats.
Oh, okay. Hold on then.
We ain't leaving.
We ain't leaving.
Juniper sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
When you worked with larger groups of gators, did you notice any individuals spending more time together than the others, or was it always random?
Yes, they absolutely do. Yeah, they do have individuals that they prefer and they pair up with.
And individuals they hate.
Yes.
And you're like, these gators hate each other. They can't stand each other. Like
Yeah.
they're cuddling with their friend and they'll walk over to the other side of the enclosure to try to attack the one they don't like.
Yep.
um, Scroff sent a $10 super chat.
Thank you.
Let's see. How do you feel about the handful of places in Florida that allow the public to interact with baby gators? Is this an ethical practice?
Um, Depends how you do it. I would say, okay. On one hand, that is never a fun experience for the baby gator. Just blanket statement that baby gator's not having a good time. Now, how bad of a time it's having depends on how you do it. Now, you can do it in a way that it is, I would say, a minor inconvenience for the baby and it's not that big of a deal. Or you could really be ruining that baby gator's day and stressing that thing out. So it does depend on how you do it, but either way you do it,
And we know facilities that do both. I mean, if you have hundreds of baby gators and whatever, like
yeah,
once a month they do an interaction, okay. But if you have 7 baby gators and you have thousands of people a day holding that one alligator,
yeah,
that's messed up.
yep.
It's
So
messed up. So there's a way to do it.
there are ways to do that in a nicer way. Oh. All right, now we're done.
I think so.
All right.
Ugh.
Well, as I was saying, thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the live. Thank you so much, everybody who left comments and asked us nice questions. And of course, huge thank you to anybody who sent a super chat or made a donation through our website, bellowingacres.org. That goes 100% to the animals. We thank you and appreciate you guys. See y'all next time.